Good day, my lovelies. How are you? Today is June 9th, and today is my 40th birthday. And if you told me 3 years ago this is how I would be spending my 40th birthday, I would have told you the devil is lying, and I rebuke you. So let me back up. I am the Stephanie Nicole, and I am going to do something that I have never done before. And I am going to be open and honest and vulnerable in a way that I didn't think was possible, but it is certainly needed. So I'm going to take you on this journey with me as I travel through my 40s. And I'm basically starting life all over again. Well, like my therapist likes to say, I am pivoting or transitioning, but 2024 was the year of never say never, because every single thing I said over the years that I wouldn't do, I would never do, I am currently doing or I have experienced it. And one of those is I have a newborn, 30, and a newborn. My God, Pop is 3 months. He'll be 4 months next week, but let me get back to it. So never say never. So first off, I'm going to take you through this journey. I'm going to give an overview of what we're going to be talking about here, but I'm going to walk you through every single piece. I'm going to make a video about every single thing I'm talking about today so you can get the full details. Pop is not going to cooperate at all. So please don't mind him. So in 2024, I was laid off from a new job that I started, a tech job, but we'll get into that. I mean, I was laid off like many other people, but my layoff was kind of different. I was the only person, because it was a tech startup, kind of, sort of was, because it's been in business for years, but they operated like they were a new startup. I got laid off, but it was fine because I had my business on the side, and I was like, this is going to be an opportunity for me to focus and go full on my business, right? Then I found out I was pregnant 4 months later. So there's that. I found out I was pregnant after my 39th birthday, which was 4 months later after I got laid off. Me being an empty nester was out the door. It's not happening anymore. So, because my daughter was 18 at the time, and she was leaving to go to the Navy. And so I was prepared to be full-time in my business and just focusing on that because I had got laid off. Well, no, not an empty nester. Then my pregnancy got so bad that I had to actually shut down my business because I was so sick. I literally was in the bed and I was nauseous and I was throwing up. I had to shut down my business. So me thinking that I was going to go full-time in my business, being an empty nester, didn't work. I had already had plans to move, but because I live in Atlanta, well, I used to live in Atlanta, I had plans to move, but that ended up changing. And guess what? I ended up moving to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's not New Orleans, and it's something totally different. We'll get into that later. So I ended up having to move down here to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I'm currently, the person that I'm in a relationship with, he's actually from New Orleans, he's from Louisiana, and so his business is here. And so he's like, hey, go ahead. So started the process of putting my house up for sale. Those renovation stories, honey, we're going to talk about that because those were ridiculous. And I'm doing all of this from afar in a whole nother state, trying to renovate my house, put it up on the market for sale. And honey, you won't believe the mess I went through. Somebody who was featured on The Real Housewives of Atlanta actually bought my house. Can't wait to tell you about Jesus. I'm not giving no names, but I'm gonna drop enough hints for you to figure out who the person was. So now we're in 2025 and we're starting over, right? Literally starting over. And we'll talk about Trey's birth story. We found out that I was pregnant with Trey on Father's Day of last year, and I cried for 2 days straight. And I'll tell you why. I will tell you Trey's birth story. I ain't gonna give you full details now. Come on now. And then I made the crazy decision in 2025, after much reflection and not working in corporate America for the first time in my entire adult career and not even working in my business, I made the decision to go back to school to get my master's in informatics after just having a baby. How crazy is that? I'm gonna do it. Then on top of that, I'm going through postpartum. So I just had a baby. I'm in school for my master's. And I'm thinking that, I'm okay. I'm doing well. And found out when going to my therapy sessions that I had postpartum. And I'm still going through postpartum. And now I'm getting through it. What else? Oh, going through this weight loss journey. I mean, honey, you should have saw me before I got pregnant, honey. Waist was snatched. All right. And now I've gained all this weight. And so now I got to get it off. I've already started the journey, and we're going to continue. I've lost 5.5 pounds already, but we're going to continue this journey on what a realistic weight loss journey looks like after giving birth, because it's not what it's cracked up to be. Even though I am in school, I still decide to read books separately because I have to keep my mind together. And so I have a book that I read. I choose one book a month. I do a personal finance book. And then because I have to financially get myself all the way together, selling the house and everything, you guys just don't know. It really put me getting renovated to sell it, and then all the things in between with that really put me in a place to where I'm really starting over completely, 100%. Or should I say, I'm transitioning, I'm pivoting, like my therapist wants me to say. So I do a personal, that was a squirrel moment. I'm going to do that sometimes. I do a personal finance. Last month I did The Psychology of Money. I really love this book. And this month I am going to be reading, what is it? Ayana's In the Meantime. Finding yourself and the love you want. I definitely, as going through postpartum, have to find me again, and not the me that is a mama. Being a mom of a teenager and thinking that I wasn't going to do this again. I know all the things that I've done, and I know what I'm not going to do with Pop. And so with that, I also have to realize that I can't be consumed. I can't consume my life as a mom. I'm still the Stephanie Nicole. And so we're going to talk about that. How as mothers, we get so consumed in being a mother and being there for everyone, we get lost. But I'm not going to do that this time around. I'm still going to live a full life and still be fully present in my son's life. We're going to talk about, I am a service disabled veteran, and I'm going through I'm currently at 50% for my disability. And I was able to recently get a certified VA lawyer. And with that, I have started the process of getting 100%. I have arthritis in my knees now. My back is getting worse. I go to the chiropractor. So we're going to go on this journey, and of me going from 50% to 100%. Fingers crossed, God willing, because that's the goal. That is the goal, to get to 100%. Oh, wow. And with me starting this journey of getting my VA disability from 50 to 100%, it sparked me to start my nonprofit for veterans that are transitioning, military personnel that are transitioning out of the military, and for veterans. This nonprofit is for us. And so you're going to see me go through this process of starting my nonprofit, as well as me relaunching my business, SNS Consulting, my consultancy, but as a self-employed individual. I have been a business owner. I've learned that being responsible for somebody else's payroll is no fun, and it's very stressful. And that's not the life I want to live anymore. So, and I don't think my legacy doesn't have to be tied into business. Yes, Pop. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be tied into a business. My legacy is going to be my nonprofit. My nonprofit will be, and mark my words, will be in all 50 states across the United States. And it's going to be in the history books. So we're going to go through that journey too. And you're like, Stephanie, you're going to do all that while having a newborn? Yes. I'm going to do it all. Because why? I have sat down for the last year and a half, and not on purpose. It was because I had no choice of being pregnant, not working, not being in my business. I had so much time to do a lot of introspective thinking. I've done a lot of soul searching, shadow work, whatever you want to call it, therapy. And I now know what it is, my purpose. I know what it is I need to do, but I also have to get moving. Just having the thoughts is nothing if you don't get the moving. So guess what? I'm getting the moving. No more idle thoughts. No more idle time. It's time to me. So come along the journey with me and Pop. He is going to be here because he's going to be on my hip this whole entire time. We're going to get it done because guess what we do, right? That's what we do. All right, my lovelies. I'm so glad I made this video. I figured, hey, if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. And so let's go. Go on the journey with me, please. Please. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye, Pop. Bye-bye.